Here's a little feather. I got what you call is a RivNut tool for installing nuts behind like sheet metal that you can't get to. So you can't, it's like if you were installing it, say, on a flat piece of sheet metal, putting a bolt with a nut through it, you can always reach behind it. But say there was something whereby you couldn't reach behind it, you can install a nut with this rivet tool. And it kind of works like, this is different. This is actually just a structural rivet tool, and I use this quite a bit. And it takes different size rivets, but what I usually use is these aluminum 1/4 inch diameter rivets. And it's similar in principle, except you got a rivet, and once it's installed, the only way getting that out is to drill it out. In this case, you're riveting in a captured nut. Works on the same principle. So the way a plain rivet gun works is you open this up and you insert this, and as you squeeze these two handles together, like you drill a hole for a 1/4 inch, in this case it's a 1/4 inch structural rivet, and I got the long ones, you put that in the hole. As you squeeze the handle, the end of the nail pulls into here, it mushrooms this out, and then that mushroom, since it's wider than a hole, it holds this rivet in there, and it can join two pieces of metal together like a spot weld. And then what happens is, as it pulls this, this snaps off, and then the nail head stays in there, it's captured in there, it's mushroomed out, and then the nail snaps off into here, and you just dump it out. It's the same type of principle, except you're using a captured nut. And the way this works is the threads are actually only this part here, down here on this end. You can see them inside. They're like, the threads are further down. If that's focusing good, but the first half of this is the part that actually crushes. Then the nut will be the second half, right? That's towards the end. So you got different sizes you can use. It's got, I don't know, I took the 1/4 20s. It goes up to 5. It's got metric. It came with the M8 and already installed. But I put the 1/4 20s. I'm going to use US UK English stuff. So you basically you screw it on this, and it's going to install. What you're going to have is a 1/4 inch 20 counts per inch bolt that you can install in the nut. But the hole is not going to be a 1/4 inch. I was measuring this. It was 350 thousandths. It's actually slightly bigger than 5/16. It's about 11/32, roughly. So you'd have to drill a hole bigger than a 1/4 inch to slip this in. Then you would squeeze this together, and then you actually have, instead of having the nail head mushroom this out, it's pulling the nut part, which is the end here that's screwed into, and it's crushing down the sleeve, which is the part with the serrations on it. That's the part that's actually, it's got serrations so it doesn't spin easily when it's crushed down. It bows out in the hole, and you just give it one squeeze and it's installed. And then you could put a bolt in there. And these are steel ones. They have stainless steel ones too, and you can change out the ends. See if it just pops open with my finger. Probably not. Hey, come on, get under. It's got the different ends on it. You basically unscrew this. When this is actually, you even have this handle here like this. You can see it spins, right? So, it works good. I mean, it actually works good. But you got different sizes. It came with, this one installed, the M8 metric. I don't freaking use metric for nothing, but I don't. Sticking with the King's freaking SAE system here, or whatever they will call that, inches and stuff. But it does some pretty big size ones, man. This has got the the 5/16. That's a pretty good size nut to capture behind something. So what I'm going to do with it, of course, it looks like it's starting to rain out, which has been my problem here for the last umpteen days. What I'm going to do here is freaking, I'm going to probably do this inside there. This is my other rain guard that I made out of steel. It's going up here, and we're going to put the structural rivets in there so I can unbolt it anytime I want. And if I take the hard top off, I'd have to unbolt this also to get the soft top, because the soft top flap goes around this bar, and if this was on there with the rain guard, it would get in the way. I'd have to unbolt that too. So there's already a 1/4 inch hole drilled in this. Now I'm not going to have, I want to unbolt this. So what I need to do is line this up, drill a 1/4 inch hole through here into here, and then do, actually it's an 11/32 hole. That would, I don't have an 11, maybe I do, but a 5/16 drill bit, just a hair bigger than that, so I can get the RivNut in there, a rivet nut, a riveted nut. So you can't get behind this, because this is just like a rectangular piece of steel. So you can't get behind there unless you go all the way through, which I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to use the captured RivNuts. It'll be truck bed lined and all that type of stuff. I already did on this side, and I might change them out later. These are the structural rivets. But if I ever put the soft top on here, I'd have to drill those out, and then of course I would change them to RivNuts. But this works good, because if the rain's coming down, it keeps the water from getting in between the top up here where it seals up against the door. Plus, if you're driving with the the windows down, these half curtains down, sometimes you don't have time to, it's hard to get the half curtains up while you're driving. And you'll get a hell of a lot less rain on you with this thing in here. So we're going to get this one on here, and it's a great tool to have, because there's a lot of applications for it. I've used this structural rivet gun quite a bit. Look at it, got the meow meows here. You got feather, that's onyx, and that's paws down there, and that's Dixie under there. See. But I've used the structural rivet gun a lot, and to keep it simple, stupid, I'm going to probably use the 1/4 inch ones mostly. And if I need something heavier, I got extra 1/4 inch RivNuts. I'm going to use the 5/16, because this way I know what the hell bolt I got in there, you know what I mean? If I start putting metric and doing all, it's good that it comes with all this with the kit. It's from Tech Life, whatever the hell that is. Probably made in China. I'm sure it's made in China. What the hell else is new, right? But it works. It works. And we're going to go use it right here in a minute. After I pull that thing inside, that thing. Let's see what's going on here. Rain. Anyway. Well, these installed very nice. They're very solid, man. And what I did before I actually put the RivNut in there, I hit it with a little bit of truck bed lining, because I didn't want any, where I drilled a hole, I didn't want any rust to start. Not that I think it's going to that easily, but after, the wet truck bed lining was wet still, and I'll put a little coat of it over this too, so it's all sealed up. Very easy to use. The only thing that's a pain is that, I measured the size of this RivNut. It's not a 5/16, it's not a 3/8, it's in between that. It's an 11/32, or maybe some metric size. Because even though it's a 1/4 inch bolt, you're actually drilling a hole for this RivNut. So I don't have an 11/32 drill bit. I got a 5/16, so I had to kind of go in there like this, make it just enough so this would fit. And it's very simple to use. I mean, you just put it in there, and when you squeeze this together, it collapses right where that serration is. It blows it all out, and that's what holds it in there. And the actual threaded part is this part right here. So, but I think before you put, you can use stainless steel ones too, but I would recommend that before you install these, that you put something under it, like even a dab of rubberized undercoating or something that would keep this from getting rusty, just in case it's an area where there's moisture. And of course, I'm working underneath this thing, okay? I'll finish this up. I only got to put a couple more in them. You just remember though, also, like if you're you're going to bolt this on here, this is a 1/4 inch hole, right? The hole I had to drill through here was 11/32 because of the RivNut, okay? So you don't drill 11/30, I mean, it'd be kind of loose then. So this bolt just fits through here barely, We got to drill it out of here more. We're going to touch that with the drill. It'll go in there. It'll go in there. It's a 1/4 inch hole exactly. So, also, you got to use more force crimping this together. I'd imagine if you were using the 5/16 RivNuts, it would require quite a bit of force. So, and then just to take it out, you just, you unscrew it right here. You just pull it out. Just pull it and it unscrews here. That's it. You just make sure that that's already collapsed. That would be how far it pulls in, and that's how far it goes out. So it's gonna pull that all the way in. When it just expands that serrated part. Then you pull it out, you just pull this. You can see that's turning in there. That's it. It comes right out. It's an easy tool to use, but it's great because there's a lot of places you can't get behind something to put a nut in something. And these look pretty strong. I mean, they're made out of steel. They're not aluminum. So I don't think you strip out the threads. What I'm going to do also when I install these bolts is I'm going to put anti-seize on them so they don't rust. I don't know, either anti-seize or maybe Loctite. Maybe I'll put Loctite blue instead because I don't want this piece to come loose. There's 3 bolts in there. I don't think it will, but maybe I'll just put some Loctite blue. That'll protect the threads from rusting too and having them back out. Pretty freaking amazing tool though. And I'm probably going to be using it for quite a bit of stuff in the future because, what you can do with this is probably, I mean, a lot of times you might maybe want to install shelves and put brackets into some kind of steel or something like that, and you can't get behind the metal to get the nut back there. Well, you got this thing, and I might pick up some of the 5/16 steel RivNuts, which is the biggest size, because they got to be pretty damn strong. These are 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch bolts aren't going to freaking. It's way overkill for this thing. Usually, what you would have on this for a rain gutter would be a piece of plastic junk. Not this angle iron, man. It's all truck bed lined and all. It's been primered with rust killing primer and truck bed lining. It ain't going anywhere. It's actually part of the structure now of the body. So anyway, over and out. That's a wrap. I mean, I don't know what else you need to know about this. It's a simple tool to use. A lot of people don't know about it, and it does have a lot of advantages over a regular rivet gun. Because you can take the stuff apart nice and easy. That's what's cool about it.